A little disclaimer before we begin, this video is not intended for entertainment purposes. I am merely presenting facts and research and evidence that I got throughout this project. I went ahead and added some pictures to go along with the voice, just to give you a visual. For my project, I decided to take a look into industries, and I decided to focus on the coffee market. Throughout the video, we're going to be looking at the market in the United States, who buys coffee, and how many times a week does an average American buy coffee. We're going to be looking at market distribution, who owns the largest portion of the market, where's the money being spent, is it being spent in coffee shops or in retail, and instant coffee. We're also going to be looking at the jobs in the industry, such as baristas, farmers, and distributors. And then we're going to be taking a look into the cultures of coffee shops, whether it be environment, place in society, and customers. We will also be looking at how much is spent, how much is bought, why the prices are the way they are. We're going to be talking about why it's socially acceptable to pay $5 for a cup of coffee. We're going to be looking at potential market growth and get into the question, why are companies trying so hard to sell coffee nowadays? And I'm also going to do field research where I go to chains and local mom and pop shops to test their coffee in different areas, whether it be quality, price, availability, culture, etc. We will also be discussing a few other variables, but that is yet to come. So to start things off, coffee is one of the most widely consumed beverages in the world and in the United States. The world consumes close to 2.25 billion cups of coffee every day. Coffee is the world's second most valuable traded commodity, coming second to petroleum. Research taken from 2013 says that 83% of adults drink coffee in the United States. Americans consume 400 million cups of coffee per day. That's the equivalent of 146 billion cups per year. Making the US the leading consumer of coffee. The Netherlands is the world's largest per capita consumer of coffee, averaging 2.4 cups of coffee per person per day. The average amount of coffee spent per week by Americans is $21.32. The coffee industry is worth over $40 billion. Starbucks made $19.16 billion in revenue in 2015. This means the Starbucks Corporation owns 42.4% of the market share, while Dunkin' Brand Inc. owns 25.5% of it, and 32.1% belongs to the rest. The coffee industry has a variety of jobs consisting of being a barista, farming the coffee beans, and being in charge of distribution. At Starbucks, you can expect to pay $3.65 for a 16-ounce cappuccino, which is basically just espresso and milk, which makes you question, where is all the money going? 32 cents goes to the cup, stir, and lid, while $1.31 goes to shop overhead and rent, $1.10 goes to paying staff, and 16 cents goes to the milk. After all the costs are added up, the rest of the money is left over to profit, which is about 60 cents per a $3.65 drink. The coffee farmer gets the worst end of the stick when it comes to payment. An average coffee farmer in Ethiopia earns about 8 cents per kilo of coffee beans, which equates to 3 cents a pound. A farmer in Guatemala earns about 30 cents per pound. After all this, the coffee farmer earns about 1 cent, while the middleman earns 15 cents. And the average coffee farmer in Ethiopia only makes about 50 cents a day for a full 8 hours of labor. An average full-time barista at Starbucks can expect to make $17,000 a year before tips, which by American standards is not that much money. So if you ever do go to Starbucks and pay $3.65 for a 16-ounce cappuccino, make sure to stay in the lobby and feed off their Wi-Fi at least to get your dollar's worth. Because of the high demand of the coffee, the potential growth of the market is huge. We can expect to see a consistent increase in sales and revenue. The coffee market has so much potential that even big name companies have tried to tap into the profits. Even McDonald's, one of the world's biggest corporations, had been selling coffee for the longest time until they decided to rebrand and make $1 billion niche called McCafe. Even Burger King sells Seattle's best coffee. Even companies like Wendy's, Burger King, and even Nestle is in the coffee industry. One thing you probably didn't know is that Dunkin' Donuts rebranded their whole entire logo to base it around a cup of coffee. It used to be a donut, and they changed it into this. The motive behind the rebrand is to sell more cups of coffee. Even Subway started selling breakfast in order to sell more coffee. With all these big name companies trying to tap into the market, it is clear that the coffee industry is a big one. Coffee shops also have their own unique culture. They house an atmosphere where people could study and get some work done while also enjoying their beverages. As part of my project, I also conducted field research. This involved going to different coffee shops and testing out the prices of their smallest beverage. The coffee shops I chose were Drip, Starbucks, and the International Coffee House. Drip is more of a specialty shop, whereas Starbucks is more of a franchise company, and the International Coffee House is a mom and pop shop a couple blocks from my house. A 12-ounce hot cup of coffee at Drip cost me $3.79. At Starbucks, I paid $1.95. And at the small International Coffee House, the mom and pop shop near me, I only paid $1.75. Quality-wise, Drip was probably the best coffee I had, but I can't say it was worth $3.79. The cup of coffee I got at Starbucks was as expected, and the International Coffee House that only cost me $1.75 was way underwhelming. The coffee felt like it's been sitting there for a long time, and I did not enjoy it at all. So what I can conclude from this research is that Starbucks is the best bang for your buck. If you're looking to spend more money on a better tasting coffee, then you might want to go to a specialty shop like Drip. And if you just want mediocre coffee, just go to a local mom and pop shop. Although the prices might be cheaper, the cup of coffee is mediocre. This puts into perspective how hard it is to compete with big business like Starbucks, and probably one of the reasons why it's so mainstream. It's affordable, it's good, and it's well known. That's going to do it for this project. Thank you guys for watching.